Mike's third of, I don't know, the final count. Was I the fourth? I was the third, wasn't I? Yeah, of 9. You know, my grandfather was, I call him Granddad. My dad just said, you know, he was really into his family. He was. He was quite supportive, and I always felt like he was really into the things that I was doing. And I just want to talk about a few things, memories that I have, mostly having to do with sports because that's what I was really into as a kid. But my granddad used to. The funny thing was though that I always remembered that like he'd tell these stories about being from Oklahoma, or I heard these stories and I learned what an Okie was, and that was always kind of underlying the memories of my grandfather, because he was a unique character, I guess is a way that I would describe it. And I remember one time I was about 15 years old and I was playing ball in San Leandro and I was pitching, and there was a play at the plate and I was backing it up and my catcher got knocked over and the ball was just bouncing there, and I went to scoop it up and tag the runner real quick. I didn't hear that the umpire had called him out already because he smacked my catcher, and I had my head down, and next thing I know I got kneed in the back of the head and I actually blacked out for just a second, and I'm laying on my back, and one of my best buddies was the catcher, and then I look up and I see the umpire, and then I see this other guy, and it's my grandfather, and he had to come through the fence or something. I don't even know how he got onto the field. And I just remember thinking, Granddad, what are you doing here? Like, I'm a teenager and I don't need my grandfather on the field. But he wanted to make sure I was okay. I was. I stayed in the game. And also, he made a bat for me, actually. He was a carpenter and he was quite skilled with his hands. In fact, it's funny, my kids think that my dad is pretty handy. And I'm like, yeah, Grandpa's pretty handy. But he's nothing compared to your great-grandfather, and just like I'm nothing compared to your dad, it's kind of trickled down and diluted along the way. I mean, to my dad, I don't have that kind of skill set, but my granddad was really proud of this bat. He took my high school metal bat and measured it out and selected this piece of boat arc. Of course, it was from Oklahoma. I was very proud of this, and made this bat for me. And the darn thing was the heaviest thing I ever put in my hands. You could not, I tried to hit it with a ball once off a pitcher and I couldn't get it around. But I didn't have the heart to tell him, so what I did, because he had engraved my initials and everything, is I took it with me to every game, and we left it on the on-deck circle, and the whole team would use it to warm up, because it was like a piece of steel. So when you got up to bat, your bat felt like a toothpick, which is what you wanted. So in the end, it worked out. I think he had visions of me hitting the ball with it, and that wasn't going to happen. I was even playing ball as a grown-up. I kept playing a little bit a little bit after my first kid was born. And Granddad came out one time. Well, I thought he might come out. It was a game. I was in my 30s. And my team's at bat, and all of a sudden we hear the umpire yell time, and I'm in the dugout, and I hear people up and down the bench saying, "Who's that older gentleman walking over in left field, coming down the field?" And I'm like, wow, somebody's walking on the field. I look out there, I'm like, oh, that's my grandfather. All right, hold on. So I ran out to go meet him and then kind of get him back into the stands. And he said, you know, they didn't have fences around the ball fields in Oklahoma. He just thought he'd come shortest distance, but that was Granddad. He was practically impractical, I think is the way I would describe it. But, you know, I visited my grandfather about a month ago. I took my kids. I have an 11-year-old son and a 7-year-old daughter. They didn't know him that well, but I knew that his time was running short, so I took them to come visit. And he was remarkably healthy for almost 90 years, but he wasn't so well at the very end. And he didn't recognize me, which I thought was okay, because he never had that good eyesight in the beginning, and I'm sure he didn't have very good eyesight at the end. But once I got to talking, he remembered me, and what he was always the most proud of me, and he would brag on forever, was the fact that I went to West Point, and I graduated from West Point in 1996. And I will say that one of the fondest memories I have of my entire life is that at that graduation ceremony, I had all 4 of my grandparents there, and they all came from California. they were all quite old, and after that, you know, they started to pass, but they were all there, and my grandfather, as a big history buff, was really quite proud that I had gone to West Point and made it through, and I was glad to have him there. So those are my memories of my grandfather. Now my sister wrote a letter, and my sister's here, but she asked me to read it, so I will do so. So I'm just going to read this letter from my sister. It's dated the 6th of March. Dear Granddad, well, I guess you're with Granny now. I hope your reunion was as sweet as the day you met at the roller rink, when she untied her skate so that you would think she needed your help. You sure fell for that one. Granddad, I have lots of memories with you and about you. Here are a few. One thing I'll always remember are your stories. Stories about growing up in Oklahoma, stories about life in the Bay Area after and before the war, and stories about squirrels. Yes, squirrels. Anyone who knew you, Granddad, knew that you used to shoot and eat squirrels as a youngster on the farm. But did they also know that you tried doing this once you moved to California? According to you, city squirrels are not very tasty. I always took your word on that. Poems are another one of those things that always made you you. Short poems, long poems, funny ones, and sad. You even had a poem for every occasion, even when you were mad. Okay, I'll stop rhyming now. Your poems were touching and always from the heart. I still have some that make me smile. Thank you for those. Granddad, memories with you include 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, every Christmas Eve. You dressed as Santa, I think. Or was it really Santa? Easter egg hunts in your backyard, eating peanuts and putting the shells in the big brown paper shopping bag. Seeing you at my gymnastics meets and swim meets and at Aaron's baseball games. And finally, among a flood of memories, my last memory with you. We shared some delicious Godiva chocolate as we sat and visited. I hope you are happy, comfortable, and skating with Granny. Love, Tova. Thank you all.
This is my back at Tony. Lady Sunrise.
Good morning. I'm Sam's mom and Luke's grandma. And my condolences to the family. It's a joy and an honor that I got the opportunity to spend some time with Frank. I found him to be very delightful and a very, very sweet man. He had so much heart when he spoke about the history, and just, you could tell he had lived a full life and had lots of thoughts about how life should be and would like to see more peace in the world. I was especially impressed that upon hearing about the birth of our grandchild, and that his name is Luke, he told me he went and studied the book of Luke to see how that might relate and what kind of character Luke was and that our Luke might be. As it turns out, Luke was quite the writer. He was an evangelist. So we'll see what happens. I think he already is. But I'm so happy I got to experience, I was there for 2 of his birthday parties, when he turned 89 and then 90, and that was really nice. And I already miss him because his presence here on the planet just was very comforting to know a person like him. So I like to sing a song because it seems like he did live a full life. A person with so much passion, particularly for his family, it carries over. So I think this song he would probably want to extend to us all, to encourage us to live our lives so that we have no complaints and no regrets. Just keep on dreaming dreams and placing bets. For all you give is all you get. So give it all you've got. Oh, have your fun. Eat your fill, and even when you're satisfied, stay hungry still to see what's down another road beyond the hill, and do it all again. So here's to life and every joy it brings. Here's to life for dreamers and their dreams. Ain't it funny how time just flies? How love can go from warm hellos to sad goodbyes, and leave you with the memories you memorized to keep your winters warm. For there's no yes in yesterday, and who knows what tomorrow brings or takes away. So as long as we're still in the game, come on, let's play. For laughs, for life, for love. So here's to life and every joy it brings. Here's to life for dreamers and your dreams. May all your storms be weathered, and all that's good get better. Here's to life, here's to love, here's to you. May all your storms be weathered, and all that's good get even better. Here's to life, here's to love. Frank, here's to you. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Sam. I'm Loyd's son-in-law, married to Amber West. I just want to introduce you to Luke, Frank's great grandson. Hello? Say hi.
Hello.
Luke got to meet.
I am my school.
Yeah, you say great granddad. Yeah, Frank.
Week.
Yes. Luke got to meet Frank last year for a brief moment in Alameda, right by the water. It was a very nice moment. So, my condolences to the family. We love you. Say, I love you.
Like,
Very
yeah.
good.
I'm Shannon. I'm Frank's granddaughter, and just to me, I'm not his granddaughter, but he treated me like I was. I didn't really plan anything, but I wanted to talk about my granddad because he was very sweet